don't ask cold audiences to buy. We ask them to recognize themselves and say, hey, wait, that's me. This one shift has changed everything about how we use ads and make them perform well.
Hey there, I'm Greta, founder of Bringing Simplicity, coming to you live with Judy, our fearless CEO. And if ads have ever felt pushy, awkward, or like you're interrupting people, it's usually because they're being asked to move too fast. Today, we want to show you how we warm up cold audience without selling anything and why this step makes conversions work later. So, cold traffic doesn't wake up one morning hoping to buy from you. They're scrolling, they're distracted, and they definitely don't trust you yet. So, when the first thing they see is buy this, book a call, download my thing, their instinct is to protect their attention, not to engage with you.
And instead of selling, we do something that's simpler here. I mean, it's selling, but it's not selling. We take your organic content that's already performing well, and this is actually one of the first 5 things that we do when we get into your account. And these posts, we look at them and we look at things like saves, comments, how many DMs or mini chats, were fired off because of these posts. And we then put ad dollars behind them as paid ads. There's no call to action. There's no pitch. So there's no pressure on the other end of new people, following you or engaging even more in your content. They're scrolling through and it's as if it's not even an ad. It's like, oh, did they just do another post? And you're like, oh, wait, maybe this seems like it's another post. And then you see the sponsored part, right? So what does that mean for you when you start running ads and are doing the same thing? So one is you are getting more out of the content that you've been like posting. And if you haven't watched the recent podcast I watched was with Hala on Yap. So if you don't watch the Young and Profiting podcast with her, she interviews Jen Gottlieb, and Jen Gottlieb was like, hey, I go to events, but I don't go to events with the intention of like, I'm going to come back and have like, tons of clients from these events. She's like, I actually go, and my whole intention is, how can I use that to generate hours like of more content? So where am I going to post it on my feed? Where am I going to put it on my landing pages? Where am I going to put it on my thank you page? How am I going to make sure that I am posted, like use this content to be a trust advisor? So if you don't want to do any work, at least to start, honestly, your first couple months, you don't have to record ads. We actually don't make you record any new ads your first month working with us, unless you want to get started right away and want to speed things up. So use your current content, and that's going to get the attention of new followers immediately without even having the ask. So again, it's not salesy at all. It's just like, hey, this is the value I provide. And we get that based on the data that the post tells us.
Yeah. And you might be thinking to yourself, why does this work? Why is this how you have structured your stuff? Does it really work? First of all, we always come with receipts. So if you follow Bringing Simplicity on Instagram or you just check out our website, you will see that we have results that back up everything that we're saying. So if any of this is resonating and you're thinking like, yes, I want to run ads and not have to record new content, make sure to hit that subscribe button. But also, this is all based on psychology. So what's happening here isn't persuasion, it's familiarity. So cold audience see your ideas, your perspective, your tone. So then when they go to see you again later, their brain doesn't say to them, who is this? They're not fighting against, they're not looking to say no to you. They're saying, oh, I've seen this before and that really resonated with me. So it creates authority because we've picked content that showcases you as an authority, and it's earned their trust so that when you go to make the ask, you're not like have that creepy weird vibe where it doesn't feel natural.
Yeah, you know what's super funny? I'm just thinking about if you guys have seen this. I watch a lot of videos on YouTube, so I'm always going to reference a video that I watched last week. A video I watched, Greta, yesterday. When you say creates authority, so like your basically like they're tallying, right? It's the part where it's like, yeah, but I heard it explained in a really funny way where Eddie Malouf, and if you guys don't know him, he runs Bad Marketing. And he said, he's like, okay, so you have like this, because he runs ads. He talks about like, if you want to grow the quickest, you run ads. So, he preaches the same philosophy that we do. But he's like, it's like when you're at a bar and people are buying you drinks, these posts are like, your warm up drinks, right? So if you want to explain it to me, like these are your appetizers, right? Like as you walk in, like it's nice to like, or actually this would even be like the bread, Greta. Like, why do you go to insert whatever restaurant you
Olive
guys
Garden
love?
to get their breadsticks.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like breadsticks, bread. Like this is like that, right? It's like they already know, they already see, it's everywhere. And they're warming you up. So then when you go and he's like, they're more likely to buy when they're on their, it's the 7 hours thing, but like when they're on their seventh opt-in or seventh masterclass with you, right? Same thing at a bar. You're more open to talking to other people and things like that. So I just thought about that. You're gaining, like think about the views, the clicks, all of that. Like those are dollar amounts. Like even though they're not dollars in your pocket, they're future dollars that are going to happen if you continue to follow the process. And if you just continue to follow the process, if you're watching this, just like the IU football team who just won the championship game, if you have the people and the plan and you execute said plan, you will eventually get to breaking records and winning championships, right? And so if this approach that we're sharing with you, using content you already have and putting ad dollars behind it your first month to get a bunch more authority on your page and speed that up, right? Speed that up. I'm going to win and beat you. My clients are every single time, even if you have 500,000 and 1 million followers. I promise you, put our clients against yours. And if you are not running ads, we're going to win. And we make it really realistic. So if this feels helpful for you, go ahead and like and subscribe so you can continue getting reminders about our marketing tips that we share. And we've talked about a lot, but basically this is why we start with reach and awareness. And most ad agencies, like if you were to hop on, if you're a founder or CEO on here, you've probably spoken with a few ad agencies, and I'm going to guess that none of them talked about reach and awareness. So this is why we start with reach and awareness and what makes us different, because we're creating that connection. It's that handshake before you're asking for anything in return, right? And we're warming those cold audiences up, and the organic audience that went cold on you, because remember, you don't get like, if you're lucky, 10% of your organic audience.
10% is like you're like blowing it out of the water. Let's be honest.
And as I say, if you're lucky, and that hasn't bought,
right?
Let me add that on there, because that's another thing. Is like, oh, I'm getting so much like engagement on my organic. Okay, great. If we were to look at all those eyeballs, how many of them are already in your funnel before we ever ask them to take action? So you need to start with reach and awareness. And we have, like Greta said, we have methods that easily implement this. Our VAs actually do this now. We actually don't even have to do this anymore on our team. We can even train your VAs on how to do it.
Yeah. So I just want to emphasize that warming up cold audiences isn't about being clever. It's not about doing something new. It's not about having yourself inserted into some ad agency's template. It's about being patient. It's about being intentional. It's about leaning into what's working organically with your current audience. And it's all about aligning with human behavior. So in the next video, we are going to talk about how, once we've warmed up those audiences and they've started to show interest and get engaged, how your back end systems are quietly killing good ads and what we do to fix that before scaling anything or really running any ads that are beyond reach and awareness. So we will see you in the next episode.